and welcome to the Shy Sheep. So on this week's video, I thought a while ago I did my unpopular opinions about anime figure collecting, so I thought maybe I should do my popular opinions about figure collecting. I hope that my opinions are actually popular, so please excuse me if maybe some of them do sound unpopular. I do think I picked out the ones that I've seen a lot of people agree with, so they do seem popular from what I've seen. But maybe it's just a lot of unpopular opinions all agreeing with each other. But let's go in with the first popular opinion. And that is that I think bunny girls or bunny figures are a bit overrated. And I can't actually remember in my last video of my unpopular opinions if I said that I liked bunnies. I mean, I do like bunnies, or that I didn't think that they were overrated. I can't remember if I did put that in, because I remember feeling that way for a while, but ever since I got my bunny figure, I've had sort of like a change of heart. And it's not like I'm disappointed in my bunny girl or that I don't like her. I really do love her, but I really do think that bunny girls are quite overrated. And it doesn't mean I'm gonna not collect bunny girls or anything like that. I would much prefer to have like one of those favorite characters of mine in like an outfit that they actually wear, or like something that isn't a bunny suit, I guess, like something I could see them wearing. And I even think that the quarter scale is actually a bit overrated as well. Like, I tend to prefer things in the 1/8 to 1... I haven't had a 1/6, but I really like how they look. Like 1/6 range, but mainly 1/8 to 1/7. I don't know, it just, they seem like really nice sized figures, and I love how much detail is put into those figures, like the sculpt work and shading and just the tiny little details of their outfits, and so much care is taken and put into, like, so much care is taken and so much detail is put into those scale figures that I've received. And I consistently see people complaining that the bunny figures are lacking a bit in detail, especially in their hair sculpt and shading. I do feel like a bit disappointed in that fact, and also the price. For the price point, it feels like you should be getting more. It doesn't seem like, you know, it just seems like way more effort is put into these smaller like 1/7s and stuff. Like, I've been way more impressed with them than I was with Elizabeth, even though I love Elizabeth. I am kind of upset about her hair color now, though, that it's been like a little while. Like, her hair looks really blue. I still think it's pretty, but still. And I also think that sometimes I often see the quarter scales having their face being quite off. Like, sometimes it just looks like their eyes are a bit dead inside and it looks a bit off of the figure, or like their face sometimes looks a bit squished or too wide. The next one, well, I do think every single Rem fan, which it seems like there's quite a lot of you out there, is going to disagree with me. I think in general, it seems like this is actually a pretty popular opinion, and that is that there are too many Rem figures, which honestly they are. There's so many. It seems like they make only Rem, like a lot of prize figure manufacturers. And also I've noticed like estream and Kotobukiya, I think Kotobukiya, not kind of Kotobukiya, and like some other manufacturers really just make tons of Rem figures. I'm pretty sure, didn't like F Next with Woo make like 2 Rems like recently? It just feels like all these figure manufacturers, like, they know Rem sells, so they just keep making different variations of her, but in doing so they leave out so many other amazing characters out there that don't even have figures yet. And I feel like that's so unfair, because I mean, I don't think you Rem fans are short for choice, so like, it's not like you won't be able to find a Rem figure, hopefully, that you like. It just feels like she's kind of overdone now. Like, they just sort of making versions of her because she sells, and it kind of feels like Rem figures are more like money grabs more than anything else. And I feel like other characters deserve a lot more attention, like ones that don't have any figures, or ones that maybe don't have any scale figures but have some prize figures, or maybe some that just have one figure and you just want to be able to choose between the two of them, you know? The next one, I know this is a popular opinion because from what all of you have said in my comment section and from what I've seen on the subreddit, what I literally hear everyone talking about in YouTube videos, and that is Kotobukiya is a solid, an amazing manufacturer. They're pretty much most people's favorite manufacturer, or one of their top manufacturers. Honestly, I can see why. They always like nail their figures. They are just so good. Such good manufacturer. They put in so much shading and detailing. The sculpt is always good. I think I mentioned sometimes their faces can be a bit off, but then like just don't get that figure. Their pricing is amazing. Quality is really great. Sometimes there are a few issues, but I mean the price, come on. Yeah, I always just feel like when I see Kotobukiya has announced something that I really look forward to see what they're gonna put out and sort of hold off on buying characters, like the same character from a more expensive manufacturer, because I almost feel like I'm going to like the Kotobukiya one more. So I always hold off before buying a character to see, like, if I know Kotobukiya is coming out with something of them before jumping into a more expensive figure. But yeah, I really love them. They're amazing. They always do such a good job, always high quality, and they do such a wide variety of characters and characters from like the same anime, and oh, it's so nice. I really love them. They're just so solid. Like, you can't go wrong with Kotobukiya. Another, I'm pretty sure this is a popular opinion from what I've been seeing from a lot of people, but I hope it isn't unpopular. I'm sorry if it is. I have mentioned how much I love Nendoroids, and this is still very true. I love them to bits and pieces. That isn't obvious. But I do agree that lately Good Smile Company and others have been getting a little lazy with their Nendoroids. With the lack of accessories and like kind of, yeah, a lot of Nendoroids don't seem to be coming with like too many accessories these days, but they're still priced the same as those that came with or come with a lot of accessories, and you're like, but why? Like, how does that work? And I'm gonna use two very recent examples. The Sukuna Nendoroid from Jujutsu Kaisen, while I do think that he is adorable and I need him, and I have actually pre-ordered him, so I'm kind of, you know, being a hypocrite right now, I do agree that he doesn't come with that many props, especially for his price. I was very disappointed to see that he didn't come with a little throne to sit on, even though his effects piece is amazing. He doesn't come with a throne to sit on or like a little sitting body part. Also, I was kind of shocked to see that they didn't paint his fingernails black. His fingernails are the same color as his skin tone, which is not correct according to the anime or the manga. So I am actually quite disappointed in that. But he's so cute, and I know it is technically wrong then to order him, but I mean, like, people are gonna order him, so I need Sukuna, so I ordered him. Sue me, okay? And the second Nendoroid, which I'm pretty sure she went up pre-ordered today, is the Komi Nendoroid from Komi Can't Communicate. I think she comes with her little briefcase and a piece of paper. While I don't know if those are all her accessories, those are all the ones she is pictured with, so I'm assuming those are all her accessories. That is a very minimal amount of accessories. Also, they didn't give her a nervous faceplate when she's feeling super anxious and scared, which is the whole point of Komi Can't Communicate. I was like, okay. I mean, I love the faceplates that they gave her, but like, they didn't give her the one that the show is like centered around, so yeah. Anyway, I do feel like they have gotten lazy with accessories and stuff like that, but I do still love my Nendoroids, and I still will pick them up, which is probably not great, and will encourage them to continue being lazy, so, you know, I am part of the problem and I acknowledge that. The next one is literally only popular with Haikyuu fans that collect figures. I am well aware of this, but nonetheless it is popular then. And that is that we need more Haikyuu Nendoroids. I can guarantee you all the Haikyuu fans will agree with this. We need a Tendo Nendoroid. Like, why is Ushijima all alone? Like, what? Why is Tendo not with him? I don't understand. Also, we need Suna. I mean, why is Suna not here? Everyone loves him. He needs an Nendoroid. This is me being super biased towards Albajosai, but we need Albajosai in their second uniforms so I can get a second Oikawa. Pretty much, I'm pretty sure every single Haikyuu fan who collects figures would agree with me, and obviously if you like scale figures, we need scales of the Haikyuu characters. I mean, come on, who is gonna make scales of them? Someone, anyone, literally, like Kotobukiya, could you make them maybe? Like, could someone make some scales of some Haikyuu characters for me? Anyway, so the next one, I judged that this was popular because of what I've seen people's responses are like to people who ask this particular question, which is when they're asking if an expensive figure or something that's expensive in the aftermarket is worth the price. But I think even though some things can be really expensive, especially on aftermarket, even if the actual figure is not worth it, I definitely think that it can be worth it. Like people are saying, where like the figure can bring you so much happiness and joy, and just like it can really like just better your surroundings and make you feel so much better, that like to you having that figure in your collection is worth more than having to part with the money. I think I worded that correctly. So in that way, the figure is worth the price. Which of course, if you are unable to afford it, then it's technically not worth it because, you know, you can't afford it. But you could still be like, I would be willing to pay that in the future, you know? But sometimes these things are crazy expensive, and like, for me, certain things aren't worth it just because like, I can't afford it. And I know a lot of people say like it's not worth it, they can't afford it, which is fine, but I do think that the people who say it's worth it are not wrong. I think that they are definitely right in that, because if you want it badly enough and it's going to improve your surroundings and your life and make you happy and warm and just then I definitely think the figure is worth it. It's definitely worth it then, and you should pick it up if that's how it's going to make you feel and that's how you feel about it. Then no matter what anyone else says, the figure's worth it. And I feel like that's a pretty popular opinion. And the next one is a pretty common one that I've also seen, and I mentioned it earlier, but I do think that figures are really overpriced nowadays, which kind of just contradicts what I just said. But it doesn't mean that that overpricedness is not worth it, okay? But they are overpriced, I can acknowledge that. But like I said, I know that COVID has happened and there's been a really increased demand for figures, with like a lot of new figure collectors, and then of course there's like inflation that happens, but it just feels like, especially from last year to this year, figures have increased very drastically in price. Instead of being like a bit of an increase or like a gradual increase, it just seems like a very sudden huge jump. I've seen lots and lots of people saying that they're considering quitting the hobby, or that they are quitting. I'm not planning on quitting, but I'm just saying I do agree, and that is why I can only afford like 1 or 2 figures a month at most, because it is really expensive, especially with the increase in price of shipping on top of it. So it's like just so much increase, and I do really think that some of the figures are kind of like, they haven't been increased because they're increasing costs, whatever. They've just seen that people are willing to pay that much for certain figures, and they've increased the price accordingly, which, fair enough. I mean, capitalism, you know, people are gonna buy it for that price. It's really unfair and disheartening for those of us who were like kind of just affording things before, and now it's skyrocketed and you're like, nice. Can't afford that. I know that there's a lot of effort put into figures, and I do understand that that's why they are expensive. Like, I'm not saying that that isn't the case, but I just mean the actual increase from where it was seems a bit too drastic considering everything else. It should have been not as drastic an increase. Okay, the next one is kind of just a little tiny complaint I have, and it's a popular opinion pretty much amongst Jujutsu Kaisen Jujutsu Kaisen fans, and even I think if you just know of Jujutsu Kaisen, you probably know of Nobara, the girl with the short brown hair, literally behind me. Why is there no Nobara estream figure? Why? Why? Nobody knows. Nobody knows why there's no Nobara. It's really confusing because she's amazing. She's a main side character. She features very prominently in season 1. So like, where is she, estream? Why isn't she there? Why did you leave out Nobara? Anyway, it's just a side note. And the last popular opinion I wanted to bring up was about pop-up parades. And no, it's not that the XL pop-up parades are the worst decision ever, although that is correct. It's actually just that pop-up parades, especially lately, not that I have had any experience with this since I don't own a pop-up parade yet, but I obviously watch videos and see people saying things about pop-up parades. It seems that they have really been lacking in quality lately, and I honestly have to agree. The most recent ones that I've seen people receiving, or at least being put up for pre-order, just don't seem to even be matching the ones that were first going out. And they kind of seem... You see, the whole concept of pop-up parades is that they're supposed to be in between the quality of a scale figure and a prize figure. And honestly, some of the pop-up parades really seem worse than prize figures. And it just seems like their quality isn't matching up. They're getting the faces really messed up, and the bases are crappy, and they're just not like... They're prize figure level or below, where there's nothing wrong with prize figures, but they're charging you more money than you would for a prize figure. So just buy the prize figure because it's probably better then. One of the things that's actually really annoyed me, I obviously love Demon Slayer, as I've mentioned 10 million times before. Some of the Demon Slayer pop-up parades I've been tempted by, literally actually only Mitsuri. I've only been tempted by Mitsuri's pop-up parade, and that's because I love her. But I don't know if I should pick her up because I'm scared that I'm paying like $20 more than the prize figure, and I'm gonna get worse quality or the same, so I might as well get the prize figure, you know? I know they're cheaper figures, that's really fine, like I'm not complaining about that. I just mean they're supposed to be somewhat higher quality than a prize figure, and it just feels like they're definitely not. So anyway, those are my popular opinions. I hope that they were actually popular and you're not sitting here like, these are all super unpopular opinions, Megan, so thanks for that. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed the video and that it was fun to listen to me talk about some maybe of my more popular opinions and thoughts on figure collecting. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you all here next week, but it's alright if you don't want to, I understand. But yeah, thank you so much and have a lovely day, and I'll see you all next week. Bye guys!